Box office battle. Box office battle going into this weekend. F1, the movie, coming out, releasing, and Megan 2.0 as well. This is kind of like your low budget Barbenheimer type of situation this weekend. Something for everyone. I've been hearing a lot about this F1 film. So I'm gonna end up watching that probably $5 Tuesday or something like that. I'm not sure, but definitely first off, starting with F1, the Thursday premieres is already out there. It's tracking for about $50 million opening weekend. Now it's distributed. It's from Apple, right? Apple Films or whatever they call it, but it's distributed through Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers is getting a piece of this pie. 50 million is a decent opening off of a $200 million budget. But with Apple, I try to tell y'all with some of these people like to count people's money and say, oh, this film isn't doing well and they're losing trillions of dollars. Apple ain't really doing this to take over theaters. Apple is doing this as expensive commercials for Apple products. They make up their money by just selling another iPhone. So, like I said, this film probably won't break the box office. It's kind of like the demographics of this. I don't know if a lot of kids are going to go check it out. Because I always say with these films, and people scoffed at this when I said this was Superman, but we learned from Minecraft and Lilo and Stitch is that Gen Z is moving the needle for a lot of these films making money. The stuff that they grew up on, that generation grew up on. Now, if you can get some nostalgia for the boomers and bros, and then you get something, for the female demographic, then you have a 4-quadrant film. F1 isn't that. F1's a straight up racing version of Top Gun Maverick, basically, right? And it doesn't seem like it's hitting opening weekend like it's like crazy numbers like Top Gun Maverick did. So word of mouth may keep F1 in the situation, basically. And again, I will check that out eventually. Megan 2.0. Again, this is another film. This is just this franchise isn't fair. It's not even about that. Low budget horror themed films. You spend less than 20 million or around 20 million on it, you're going to flip it and make a profit. The first Megan film, they only spent about 15 million on that. And what did they give the box office? The first Megan film, nearly 200 million off of like a $10 million budget. Now Megan 2 comes out. They doubled their budget. They spent about twice of what they spent on the first film. And they're already going to make it up in the first weekend. Yeah, that first Megan film wasn't bad. Just this is how you get into the industry and make your money. Go make a low budget horror film that hits, and you got profit for days. So again, this is a low budget Barbenheimer situation. Something for everyone. And How to Train a Dragon's out there. That they got about 300 million so far. The Universal film, How to Train a Dragon. How much they spend on that? Let's see. Budget about 150. So everybody's making money. Everybody they heating up the theaters until next week. We got Jurassic World coming out. The week after that, we got Superman. Super Jurassic. We're just days away to really see what these films are going to do. That's what we probably going to have a stream every day next week. The way this is going, it's amazing. Let's see here. Megan was a surprise hit for sure. Elio's not doing good. Yeah, I mean, it's not hidden. It's not hidden like but I think Elio, that film, that can have a life on streaming and things like that, right? So but the summer is getting high. Yeah, next week's gonna be I think a very busy week for me because we're gonna be talking about these numbers as soon as Jurassic World hits. I will say briefly, a lot of a lot of journalists and people are starting to see these films, and um, I would say Jurassic World Rebirth, though the opening weekend may not be bananas. I mean, it's gonna be good. It's gonna make money. Um, Hearing some pretty good word of mouth for Jurassic World Rebirth, and so even if it doesn't do 200 million opening weekend, or even through the holiday weekend, I think the word of mouth is going to carry that, and it's going to be a very interesting second week against Superman, because Superman has all the buzz right now. I don't care what anyone has to say. Superman has all the buzz right now, and we'll talk more of that in a moment as well too. So let's see what we're saying here. It's been poor. Well, I mean, I've seen people like it too, so maybe it's mixed. Maybe it's mixed. I have seen some less than positive reviews, but I've seen some pretty good. I've heard some pretty good word of mouth for that. So, got the coffee and the bagel was good. Mike Wing was good. All right, let's see. Like I said, we got the big topics. Very excited to talk about all this stuff. Before we do that, we got first properly realize the awesomeness that's coming to us in 2027. Denny V directing the next James Bond film. Like that's all it needs to be said. I mean, there's a handful of directors, in my opinion, it's going to cause some kind of emotional reaction to people. And what do I mean? I mean, like right now, James Cameron, he comes out with a film, people have to respond to it, right? Christopher Nolan, Zack Snyder, whether you like him or not, is going to cause some kind of reaction to you. And Denny V is on this list as well too, as far as just next Bond. Let's go.